Okay, so before we dive into our SAT English RW Strategy Masterclass, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to the organization making this session possible. Let's unbound. All right. So Let's Unbound is dedicated to empowering students across more than 25 countries by fostering STEM skills, life skills, and college readiness. Our mission is to help students achieve their life skills by 18 and life goals by 35 through personalized learning and mentorship. With programs ranging from skill development, gifted test, and college prep to Ivy League readiness, Let's Unbound has taught over 4,000 students, conducted more than 125 hours of teaching, earned a global 4.9 out of 5 rating. By combining innovative teaching methods with strong mentorship, Let's Unbound helps students realize their potential and make a positive impact on the world. So, as we begin today's masterclass, remember you're not just learning strategies for the SAT, you're also building skills that will help you excel far beyond the test in college, career, and life. Over to you, Nanda.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Yes? Please give a thumbs up if you can all hear me. Yes. Dear students, can you all hear me right now? Okay, great. So, a very warm welcome to all those who have joined today's masterclass. I'm your mentor, Namrata. And I would also like to thank all my students, who are currently taking classes from me to take the vocabulary building class seriously. Because during the class, they were always worried about the vocabulary bit. Yes. So those students who are studying with me know how challenging vocabulary is, and for others, this masterclass would be an eye opener. So, before we begin, a little bit about myself. Like I said, I'm Namrita and I've been taking SAT classes from the year 2003. I can proudly say that I have been one of the foremost SAT faculties in India, and I have been a master trainer. I've also helped the best test prep companies make the SAT curriculum. And I have seen the SAT transition from a paper based test to a digital format. And I must say that all of you are very fortunate. This format is much easier for the present generation to attempt. Yes. Now, coming to today's agenda, the agenda for today's masterclass is vocabulary building. And why do we need vocabulary building? Well, firstly, you get direct questions which are called word and context questions. So, all those students who attempted word and context questions with me, please give a thumbs up. Yes, Anaya, Sushant, you all done word and context questions with me. Please give a thumbs up. And sometimes you get indirect questions, different kind of questions, but they also require a good vocabulary. So we will be working on vocabulary, and let's see how. We will be using something called, as it's mentioned on the screen, mnemonics. Mnemonics is the science of memory aid. So we will work together on not only just remembering new words, but also to recall them. So moving ahead, let's just quickly go through what the digital SAT is about. The digital SAT has two modules, the reading and writing and the math. Reading and writing refers to your reading comprehension based questions and your grammar questions. The test is for the reading writing between 200 to 800, and for math also between 200 to 800 marks. So your total score will be between 400 to 1600. Now, the first module, and I'm focusing on reading and writing, 27 questions, 32 minutes. It's a standard module. How you perform in this module decides the level of the second module. Hence, this test is called a computer adaptive test. The same goes for math, 22 questions, 35 minutes, and two modules. You have four answer choices, one correct answer, and there is no negative marking. Let's move ahead. Now, in brief, let me tell you what the reading and writing section entails. So, you have two question types. Mainly, you have reading comprehension passages. The College Board wants to test whether you can, retrieve relevant from irrelevant information, understand what a passage is telling you in total, if you can understand what specific lines are asking for. They also want to test something called as standard English conventions. So they are basically testing your grammar. Now, these are college board or SAT grammar rules. Hence, we need to work upon them separately from our school grammar. Sometimes we have to unlearn the school grammar and follow the SAT grammar rules. Now, moving ahead, yes, coming to the vocabulary portion. So I'll put a question in front of you and you can all type your answer in the chat box. Okay, let's see how many of you get this correct. Now the question is, which choice completes the text with the most logical and precise word or phrase? Yes, just one moment. I think I've clicked something else on the screen. Just let me come back to the question. Yes. Okay. So, Stephen Hannock's luminous landscape paintings are appealing to viewers but have elicited little commentary from contemporary critics, a phenomena that may be due to the very fact that the paintings seem so blank. Many critics focus their attention on art that is cryptic or overtly challenging. You have four answer choices: A, innovative; B, accessible; C, profound; D, subversive. Yes. Okay, so I have one answer, A. Others, please put your answer in the chat box or you can give me a thumbs up. So, how many think it's A? How many think it's B, C, or D? Give a thumbs up or put it in the chat box. So, let me see your responses. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Great. Yes. Now the answer to this question is B, right? So right now, I don't think any of you used any strategies or anything, but just did the question based on your vocabulary. Now, again, give me a thumbs up. How many of you knew the meaning of the word subversive? Yes, please give a thumbs up. How many of you knew the meaning of the word elicited? So if you can see, the question itself has lots of difficult words like elicited, cryptic, profound in the answer choices, and subversive. Now, like I said in the beginning, you can also be tested on your vocabulary in an indirect manner. Yes. So we have an inference question. The word inference means implied. Okay. So I'll read the question first. That's my approach. According to the text, Schlegel and Barry's cross-cultural study of adolescents in tribal and traditional societies showed that. Okay. So this passage is from Suparna Chaudhary, Culturing the Adolescent Brain. What can neuroscience learn from anthropology? So, how many of you know the meaning of anthropology? Give a thumbs up. In Social, Cognitive, and Affective Neuroscience, 2010. Socially Legal and Barry's cross cultural study of adolescents in tribal and traditional societies using data collected from over 175 societies around the world demonstrated that adolescents is, or as a distinctive, socially marked stage of life, is ubiquitous. These researchers put forward a biosocial theory arguing that the social stage of adolescence is a response to the development of the reproductive capacity. Phew, I'm tired, and so would probably you be reading such a complicated passage. Now, this is a test of speed versus accuracy. So, I'm giving you all 30 seconds and give me the answer. Is it A, B, C, or D? The answer choices are in front of you. Put your answer in the chat box. Quickly. Yes. Tough question. Let's get some answers. I want my students answering. Yes, I want my students answering right now. Yes, I'm not able to see the answer choices. Uh, okay, now I can. Very good. Okay, good, good, good. Yes. Excellent, Mr. Cherukar. Yes, you've solved the question for me. Excellent. Yes, but I would like to ask those, who did not know the meaning of the word ubiquitous, that would you have been able to answer this question? Yes. If you did not know the meaning of the word ubiquitous, would you have been able to answer the question? Yes. I'm not able to see my presentation right now. Please give me a moment. Yes, are you all able to see the presentation? Please type a yes. Yes. So this is an inference passage, and the word ubiquitous itself is that's one single word that makes you reach the correct answer. You would be completely lost if you did not know the meaning of this word. And this just tells you that this is a completely vocabulary based test. The RW section requires you to have a good vocabulary. Yes, please give a thumbs up, Anaya, if you can see the screen. Yes, Sushant, if you can see the screen, please give me a thumbs up. I don't see any thumbs up comings. Okay, great. Yes. So now, how do we build our vocabulary? So those who have a year at hand before their applications, they can use a long-term approach, which means reading books, magazines, and journals. Now, your reading comprehension passages can be from various subject areas. Okay, those who are preparing for the SAT know you can have something from anthropology to zoology. Hence, pick up journals, science journals, pick up journals on sociology, pick up articles which have a tough vocabulary and start reading them. Don't let vocabulary daunt you. If you don't know the meaning of a word, doesn't matter. Start keeping a vocabulary journal. The third point. In that, write the meaning of the word and look it up. Look it up in dictionaries. You have online apps of dictionaries available. My favorite is WordWeb. I've been using it since the past 20 years, 22 years to be exact. So have a copy of the dictionary on your laptop, have it on your phone, and as soon as you come across a new word, write it down. Or finish the test because you don't have the privilege of a dictionary in the real digital SAT. So once you finish the test, revisit the words and write down the meaning. Okay, so you've written down the meaning, but you still can't remember the word. And that's where mnemonics or memory aid devices come to our rescue. One is playing crossword puzzles and quizzes. The crossword puzzles, the quizzes, they challenge our brain to retrieve a word which is lying dormant in our brain. Okay, when we have to fit in a word within four squares, we work upon our mind, and words which we haven't used for a long time, we try a hit and trial to put them in. So please Start working on crossword puzzles and quizzes that come in newspapers. And like I said, this generation has loads and loads of games available on the internet, which are vocabulary based and which they can use. So the short term approach. So this is for students who have to give the exam in the next few months. Let's work on the mnemonic devices. The first one is etymology, and it's my favorite. It not only helps you learn words, it also helps you uh, understand or try and get the meaning of a word in the real exam, because there are thousands and thousands of innumerable words in the English dictionary, and the SAT or the College Board can test you on any of them. So, word roots is what we are focusing on right now. This is word roots, and this tells you the story of the English language, the advent of the English language. So, let's get started. So, English, and I might be boring you, I'm a vocabulary teacher, I tend to be very verbose. So, English is a Germanic language. That means the first words in English come from German. So, Vater becomes father and Mutter becomes mother. And it also borrows words from various Nordic tribes. The first two tribes in the British Isles or England were the Anglo Saxon tribes. And from Anglo, you get the word English, and you get the Anglican Church, which is the Church of England. Gradually, as people started to travel, the English writers started to borrow words from Greek mythology, and you get words like Herculean task, because Hercules was given the task of carrying a load on his back, which was a very tough task. And you get the word Herculean task, and every time the boulder would tumble down. So you get words like Morpheus, the god of dreams. You get the word metamorphosis, okay, which means changing shape. Amorphous means lacking a shape. So, from the god of dreams, who was the shapeshifter, you get the word Morpheus. That's the name of the god. You get words like metamorphosis. Now, in English, as you would see over here, you have two words. You have metamorphosis and you have transformation. Because some words come from Greek and some words come from Latin. Yes, Latin was the language of the higher class, okay, the literate people, and Shakespeare and other writers took a lot of words from Latin and put them in English. So where does saxophone come from? Well, saxophone does not come from the Saxon tribe. It comes from the name of Alfred Saxo, its inventor. And probably Alfred Saxo, his previous generations, they belonged to the Saxon tribe, and that's how he got the surname. So all words do not come from different languages. But yes, the English Empire started to you know, further spread its wings, and it started taking words from other languages. So from Spanish, you get the word savory, that's number 12. Okay. And again, from the Greek god Pan, who's the god of nature, you get again all. Okay. So Pan means all, and omni also means all, and ubiquitous also means all, right? So you have ubiquitous, which means present everywhere. Okay. You have omnipresent, okay, so which means present everywhere. And you have omnipotent. Potent means powerful. So you have the potential to clear this exam. That means all the students here, okay, have the power to clear this exam, right? The omnipotent again means powerful. Omniscient means having the knowledge of everything. Pan also means the same thing. So a panoramic view is when you have the view of the entire visual that is in front of you. Yes. And Shakespeare himself coined hundreds of words which he had put in his theaters. And another person who did the same was the poet John Milton. And he made the word pandemonium because the god of nature, Pan, he had a very, very hard scream which used to shake the earth. So the word pandemonium basically means a event or something that happens where there is a lot of noise and ruckus. Now, how do you remember these words? Okay. You know the roots, but you can't remember all the roots. So, form associations. Please, that is something you have to do personally. Form your own associations. When I learned the word Panacea, okay, which means cure of all things, I learned it with the name of the pharma company, Panacea Biotech. How many of you have heard of Panacea Biotech? Please give a thumbs up. Please give a thumbs up, those present today who have heard of the company Panacea Biotech. It's a pharma company. So now it makes sense that pharma company gives the cure of everything, right? Okay. Now, Omni, how do I remember the route? Omni van. Okay, all the parents over here would remember they travel by the Omni van. Okay, or their luggage or the courier services use the Omni van. So Omni means all, and you get all these words. So if you're stuck in a word, on a word, I'm sorry, in the real exam, okay, and you don't know the meaning, look at the roots. Your roots will be either as a prefix or as a suffix. Yes. So moving on. So I said form associations. Now there are three books that I'm suggesting. Please write down the name of these books. You have Original Words and Their Romantic Stories. I'll repeat, Original Words and Their Romantic Stories by Rosenblum and Lundberg. Okay. You have the very famous Word Power Made Easy. Please write down, by Norman Lewis. And you have a very famous book called All About Words by Wilfred Funk. Now, these three books are there in the PDF form also. They're available online. So please refer to these books. They help you form associations. They have some very small, short exercises which all the students can do. They're not tiring to your brain. They're very challenging and interesting. So, associations, we get lots of words from places. Like I said, as the English started to travel, they started to take words. So I have on number 14, Sienna and Burgundy. This is what the girls would know. How many boys in the show know the difference between Sienna and Burgundy? Raise your thumb if you know the difference. And how many girls over here know the difference between Sienna and Burgundy? Your lipstick colors? Give a thumbs up. I'm not getting much responses. Give a thumbs up. Yes, if the girls know the difference between cyan and burgundy. Well, these are the colors of wine. Okay. And they range between red to magenta. And they are named after the places where this wine is either grown or manufactured in Italy. Like you get bohemian, and that's a very, I think, famous word of this generation, very boho. So the boho comes from a very non-traditionalist lifestyle, okay, and it comes from the place Bohemia, the place of origin of gypsies. So associations, you're now associating with places. Laconic, Laconia in Greece, the Spartans lived over there. Please start reading. Reading is the best way to develop your vocabulary. Okay. What is Trojan horse? You know, your generation wouldn't know, but when viruses started to attack computers, one of the most famous virus was, okay, and people from my generation, please raise your hand. It was called the Trojan horse. Yes, a thumbs up on that, please. Okay. So Laconic means to speak less because people belonging to Laconia, or the Spartans as they were called, used to use very less words. Now, another word for laconic is tacit. Why am I telling you that? Make synonyms. I'll work on it further. Moving on to the next slide. Yes, they started to travel, the English started to travel east and borrowed words from Persian and Arabic. So, elixir of youth, that's like the Amrit of youth, as we call it. Amrit is the Hindi word. Okay, the drink of youth. It comes from al iksir from Arabic. And if you hear carefully, you can hear the word kheer also in it, keel also in it. Okay, so that's how the Indo-European family of languages. Okay, that's from the Celtic in the west to the Wangu River Basin in China in the east. We all have common words. Okay, and they've come in English language also. Yes, so bombastic comes from pamba cotton, which was filled into pillows to inflate them. So pamba became bomba and bombastic, like Mumbai became Bombay, okay, and Kolkata became Calcutta. So words evolved, pronunciations changed as the British could not pronounce them correctly. Associations. That's the best way to form or to remember words. Moving on to the next slide. Yes. Now, that's my favorite. I'll start with word number 20, Maverick. Yes, Tom Cruise. Yes, and he plays, his call sign is Maverick in Top Gun. He's a person who breaks rules and gets into trouble all the time. So, Maverick is a non traditionalist person. Yes, we learned another word very close in meaning, but not the same, Bohemian. Yes, now, quixotic means somebody having very, very inflated ideas of valor and bravery, who doesn't really think before jumping into the field. And that comes from a very famous character in literature called Don Quixote. Now, heteromorphic. Hetero means two, morph means shape. So having two shapes. Chromosomes comes from that, the Greek root, because when the scientists first found the chromosomes and they, put dye in it, they could see that chromosomes could actually get color. So chromosomes, soma means body. So chromosomes are in our body, colored body substances, and that's how you get the word chromosomes. Insomnia, somes means body. Insomnia means when your body is not able to sleep. Yes, psychosomatic disorder. Psycho means mind, soma means body. So, psychological orders which manifest in the body are called psychosomatic disorders. Heterochromatic. Hetero means two, as mentioned in point 21. Chroma means color. So, certain animals like cats and huskies have different colored eyes. Another association for heterochromia is David Headley, the accused in the 2008 Bombay blast. One of the ways in which he could be identified was that he had different colored eye, and the way he got away from the police was by wearing colored lenses. Okay, so that his eye color could match. But that was his uniqueness. So associations. Atonement means to feel sorry and to make up for your sins. Yes, follow the movie. The script is all about trying to make up for your sins. Associations, that's the best way to learn words, and refer to these books. Keep referring to the library, to the dictionaries that I've told you about. They also have sentences. Start using these words in your daily life. Now I come to events. How events, games, etc. give you words. So, is my dear student Twisha here? Is Twisha here? And she's a chess player. So I would have loved to have her over here. So she's a chess player, and I would have loved to ask her, how do you get the word checkmate? So it comes from Persian Shah ki mat. So when the king is in danger, you say checkmate, which basically means that the king can die, right? And Juggernaut comes from Jagannath. What does Juggernaut mean? Extreme religious fervor. Yes, religious fervor. Because when the British saw the Jagannath Yatra, they saw that the devotees would lie on the path of the Yatra and intentionally get crushed under the wheels of the Yatra. Okay. For them, this was a way of getting moksha. Now, this way, they thought that they could reach God. So, extreme religious fervor that almost turns you blind is called juggernaut. And also, you get the word not in Russian language. So, you have an astronaut and you have a cosmonaut. So, there is a dual way of learning these words. not refers to a person. A zealot. Who's a zealot? Again, extreme enthusiasm, fanatism for a cause. So, juggernaut, zealot. Associations. You're getting synonyms together. Next slide. You get words from the names of planets. So Shani is something that in India all of us dread Shani Bhagwan. Yes, okay, we pray to Shani. We know he gives justice. Yes, if your Shani is bad, then things are bad. So your Saturn means dreary, gloomy, dull. The Saturnine personality is a personality which is depressed. Okay, and a Mercurial personality, because Mercury moves really fast around the sun. Okay, is a very fickle or a changeable personality. Same way, if you're having a cold for a very long time, okay, and you always have a handkerchief around your nose, you become dull and you become a phlegmatic personality. And if you have indigestion and too much of bile is being produced by your liver, okay, or you just come out of the OT, then you're cranky and you're irritable and you will pick up fights or you will snap at people and you are a bilious personality. So please don't be any of these personalities, my dear students. And I move to the next page. So, where do you get these words? I've told you, download dictionaries, maintain a vocab journal. And then, now, all the parents in the group, please give me a thumbs up. How many parents are there? Yes, please give me a thumbs up if the parents are there. Yes. Now, please, it's your role. It's your role to make flashcards and quiz your children on words. So make flashcards. Okay. 29, Dexter means right hand. Okay. And sinistre means left hand. So you get the word sin or sinister. Why? Even now in India, okay, many parents force their left handed children to write with the right hand. If they have to take prasad, we say use your right hand. Okay. No auspicious work should be started with left hand. So that was the same case in the left. So your left hand was called sinistre, and doing things with the left hand became a sin, or it was considered sinister. Yes? Okay. And dex means right hand. So you get the word dexterity when you're very skilled. Ambidextrous is a person who can use both the hands equally well, because ambi means dual. And how many of my students over here, besides Anaya, remember the word ambiguous, amphibian, who can live both on land and water? Ambivalent means having dual feelings. Associations, synonyms, put them together. Okay. So ob means to block. So and fuscus means dark. So obfuscate means to make something hazy, not visible. Lucid means light. So when you elucidate a statement, you put light upon it. It becomes a clear statement. Okay. And when you obstruct the path, that means you block the path. Okay. When you make obtuse statements, that means you make a statement that's difficult to understand. And you can see these words over here, 31, okay, 33 and 34. Make flashcards. Test your children. Ask them, how many words can you name with ob? Okay, that's the best way. We also provide you with a list of words. But then, if it has, say, 1,000 words, College Board is probably about will give you 1,001 word, right? A new word. So it will always be a challenging paper. Yes, moving on to the next. Now, I quickly want answers, okay? I want you students to tell me, okay? Question number 35, nonchalant. What is the meaning? A, belief, B, carefree, C, a loud outcry, or D, an object with magical power. Please put your answer in the chat box. Yes, please put your answer in the chat box. A, B, C, D. Quickly. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah, next one. Let's not, Sushant, let's wait. Okay. I hope you don't have the dictionary open. Yes. 36 lakhs. What is the meaning of the word lakhs? Yes, again, let's put the answer in the chat box. Yes, my dear students? Yes. Okay. Now I'll go to the next page. Okay. Now we have the word lackadaisical. A, B, C, D. Again, what does it mean? Please put your answer in the chat box. I want more answers coming in. Lackadaisical attitude. Okay. So, why did I pick up these words? If you see, they have similar meaning. Okay. Lackadaisical means lazy, laid back, casual. Nonchalant means carefree. Okay. Lax means again, when you don't pay attention. But, if it is one thought or one emotion, why do we have three different words? Okay, let's understand. We have three different words because they originate from different languages: Latin, Greek, Nordic, German, like we just started. Also, the usage. Okay, so lackadaisical would be for an attitude. Okay, okay, so he has a very lackadaisical attitude. Okay, so everything is done, okay, at the last minute. Lax. Okay, lax probably will be used when you're talking about security. The security lax led to the attack. Yes, the usage of the word. Nonchalant attitude is more on a positive side. Okay, so childhood is a time when children roam around freely with a nonchalant attitude. So, three words, and hence we use the word synonyms. Synonym means, okay, to all the participants, it means similar meaning words. It does not mean same meaning words. So there are nuances of difference in the meaning of the word, which one needs to follow. And why do we need to learn this? We need to learn this because your SAT loves to test you on these words. But before that, one word of wisdom for all the students, and that's sagacious or sagacious. Yes, what does that mean? Please put your answer. Sagacious means, please put your answer. Yes. Okay. Now, how do I remember this word? Our sages, okay, are very wise. Okay, so though the word does not come from sages, that is the association that I can make. Sagacious means wise or discerning. Yes, just like the Indian sages. Clear? So, associations are very important, and we move on to now your word and context questions. So now we will work on an approach and do the questions. Okay. Before I show you the question, the approach is something that I've already followed. And we read the question first. We read the passage if there's a blank, or there will be a word that they'll ask you the meaning of. We'll do both kind of questions today. And we look for the clues in the sentence. Please remember your correct answer is in the sentence itself. Okay, let's see how. Okay, if you're not able to come up with a word, but you have the vague idea of what the sentence is talking about, form a positive or a negative connotation. Okay, have a vague answer in your mind if you cannot come up with an exact word, and then pick the answer choice closest to your answer. Okay, and the process of elimination. Let's see how it works. So, I'll read this out for you. Just a sec. Okay. So, which choice completes the text with the most logical word or phrase? I read the question first. I read the passage. This passage is from Henry Van Dyke, The Americanism of Washington. It was originally published in 1908. This is a blank based question. He, profitable office and sure preferment under the crown for hard work, uncertain pay, and certain peril in behalf of the colonies. Okay. Okay. So now what is your answer? Pursued, garnered, glorified, forfeited. Difficult words? Yes? Please put your answer in the chat box. Yes? I want more answers coming from students. As parents, over these years, we all have a good vocabulary, but I want it coming from the children. Yes? Okay. So your answer over here is forfeited. Okay. Now, why? Firstly, forfeited, what does it mean? Forfeited means to have to give up. When you have to give up, okay? When you have to give up something, you lose something. Yes? So look for the word fort in forfeited. It doesn't come from fort, okay? But now my association is when the Pandavas gambled away everything, to the Kauravas, they had to forfeit the kingdom. They had to forfeit even their clothes, everything, the treasures. Okay, okay, garner. Garner comes from the word granary. So, granary is the place where you store things. So, to garner strength means to collect strength. Yes? Okay. Now, how do I know that the answer is forfeited? Firstly, okay, for. Your preposition over here is for. Okay? Okay? And forfeited uses the preposition for. This is called the idiomatic usage of words. Certain words come with certain prepositions. Okay, what are prepositions? They tell you the position of words. As simple as that. Okay, any other clue in this? He pursued for. No. If he pursued something, uh, your preposition would have been different, not for. Garnered, okay, you don't gather profitable offers. You can garner profit but not profitable offers. Glorified, okay, is there anything that tells you that it is exalted above? No, this is a neutral sounding sentence. Let's look at the next example. Okay, yes. Now, so now you have a sentence without a blank. Okay, so as used in the text, what does the word naive most nearly mean? This passage is from Gilbert Higgett, The Art of Teaching, copyright 1950 by Gilbert Higgett. Students always read the blurb. The blurb is the introduction. Yes, his methods were first the modest declaration of his ignorance, which imperceptibly, yes, difficult words, flattered the other man and made him eager to explain to such an intelligent but naive inquirer. Second, his adaptability, which showed him the side on which each man could be best approached. And third, his unfailing good humor, which allowed him always to keep the conversation going and at crisis when the other lost his temper to dominate it. Phew, that's a lot of words, a lot of difficult words. College board is trying to daunt you. What does daunting mean? Okay, okay. So it's trying to basically get courage in you to answer this question. This is a very, very difficult passage. Okay, it is a very daunting passage, challenging passage. Okay, let's see how we solve it. What's your answer? You can read the passage again. I'm giving you a few seconds to answer. Yes, A, B, C, D. Difficult? Yes. Okay, excellent. Mr. Ibrahim, Siddhant, Aditya. So nice to have these answers coming. Okay. Now, yes, it is challenging, Mr. Raja. Yes. Okay. Now, why is it challenging? Because in this question, half the words, okay, a 10th to 12th grade student wouldn't know. Imperceptibly is difficult to even pronounce. Okay. Then you have, okay, when you go to the answer choices, guileless, credulous. Okay. So, what does credulous means? You get the word from credos, beliefs. So, credulous is something which is believable. Okay. Incredible. That means wow. It was so good that it's hard to believe. Okay. Guile. Guile means being clever, crafty. So guileless means innocent. Okay. The exact or the dictionary meaning of the word naive is innocent. Now, can you have two correct answers? A and B? No. So A and B go out. The process of elimination says you can only have one correct answer. If it is innocent, it can be guileless also. But please understand, your clue to the correct answer is in the sentence. Okay. This is from the art of teaching. Here is a person who is pretending that he doesn't know anything. Okay. He's pretending so that the other person feels important, as it says. Okay. So, modest declaration of his own ignorance. So he acts as if he does not have knowledge, which means he's acting as if he's uninformed. Yes? So the word naive over here has the meaning of the word uninformed. But if you follow the dictionary meaning, you fall in the SAT trap and you pick up the literal meaning. Okay, so let's go on. Okay, this let me read. Yes, great. All those who've come up with the right answer. Yes, let's move on to the next. Okay, any questions which are vocabulary based, please ask me right now. And then I hand over to Kanushri. Yes, please, you can all put your. Yes, I'll repeat the name of the books. Okay, you have Word Power Made Easy. Okay. I'm writing the names in the chat box. Word Power Made Easy. All about words, origin of words, and their romantic stories. Yes. And parents, I'm so glad to see you all interacting over here, working on behalf of your children. This is what we need. Make flashcards. Yes. Anything else that you would like to ask? Please download the copy. Please make your children work on this. Vocabulary, like we see, is not only important. The previous question, sir, I wouldn't have time to, answer it again as we have to move on. But I can definitely explain it to you separately. If you can please share your email ID and we can connect with you, or, yes, it is best that you refer to one of these books. Firstly, because of time constraint. Secondly, I don't want any of you to get overwhelmed with the knowledge that these books give. Please remember, 3 books would be too much for all of you. Okay. Okay, so now I hand over to Kanushri. And please, sir, I can answer Mr. Raja. You can please share your details and then I'll answer this question for you once again. Yes. Over to Kanushri.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a great session. That brings us to the end of today's session. I'm sharing some important links in the chat box. Um, there you go. Please feel free to save them for your reference. Also, we host engaging events and masterclass every weekend and will notify you via email so you never miss out. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you at our upcoming sessions. Until next time, please take care and keep learning.